Radio Cayman everywhere.
Everywhere.
Can you hear me now? Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. Here's your host, Anita Khan.
A very pleasant Thursday morning to everyone. It's 31 and a half after 7 o'clock. Welcome to the Business Buzz. As usual, we normally have two segments on the Business Buzz, and today we're going to have exactly two segments. On this first segment, we're going to put the focus on Phoenix Legal. Good morning to our listeners, our YouTube viewers, our guests in the studio, Silver Fox, manning the boards, and just about everybody on their way into work and feeling the crunch. I feel your pain this morning, but you know what? Just relax, take it easy, enjoy the drive into work or wherever you're heading off to. Good morning again. And to all our regular listeners, good morning. We have a guest and a half in the studio this morning. Want to welcome from Phoenix Legal, Ms. Lisa Donalds. Phoenix Legal was created by Caymanian attorney Lisa Donalds with a mission of providing accessible legal advice to the community. Lisa, good morning.
Good morning.
And also in the studio, we have 9-month-old Ava. Good morning, Miss Ava. She wants to talk, but she's got a mouthful of keys. Oh, my goodness. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio. Now, Lisa, I know you've been in the studio before, so we're just going to go over this and see what's new with you and your company. Give us an overview of Phoenix Legal.
Phoenix Legal is, it's a business that I started in 2019. And the best way to describe what that space is about is to provide accessible, it started out as a space to provide accessible family law advice to the Cayman Islands community, whereas now I'd say it's evolved into something where I still want to practice local law, but obviously with a broader, expand the practice more, to really to really clarify who I am and what I'm about, and that at the end of the day, I care about the Cayman Islands community, and that, things have changed. Obviously, there's a newer little one on that you see that is with me, and because of that change, and because I still obviously want to be around, I would say that I'm a creative social entrepreneur who, yes, I'm an attorney, but I'm also a mom, and I played a lot of different roles.
And I tell you what, having Ava in the studio this morning, I've never had a baby in the studio before. Silver Fox, have we ever had babies in the studio before? No? And she's quiet, and she's cute, and she's a distraction. So Lisa, how critically important are shared values and communicating them to one's law firm branding, or as a matter of fact, any other business?
It's actually very critical to be clear as to what your values are. I would say the values, my personal values as an individual are freedom and truth. But with the brand Phoenix Legal, I would say that those are obviously accessibility and trying to maintain that separation between, yes, this is a company that I've started and this is the business, and the business is meant to be accessible and responsive. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm, as an individual, accessible and responsive all the time. So it's creating those boundaries and knowing how to maintain them is something that I'm learning along the way.
Okay, well, at least you're definitely breaking those biases, right? Just moving the way forward for other women or young girls who are looking forward to a legal career and knowing that they can handle a career, parenthood, motherhood in particular, and move forward. Now, what are your thoughts on a visual identity, matching the tone of a firm's values, especially in your case?
I think that it's something where you need to determine what your visual identity will be for your brand when you're showing up for your brand. So for me, it's showing up today as someone who, yes, I am a business owner, but I'm also making it very clear that I'm also a mom of an under one, and being real with that fact, as well as and being authentic with that fact. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm always going to be showing up in that role as a business owner and mom 24/7. That's not always how I'm going to present. You may see me in places and you'd be like, oh, why is she there? Because for me, there are the things that I truly do enjoy, that I'm passionate about. Something else, like as an individual, that I'm passionate about is dance. So sometimes you may see me on a dance floor and you may be like, okay, well, where are the kids? The kids are fine. And I'm okay with that fact.
Okay. And she's fine right now. I have to tell our listeners, I guess the viewers on YouTube can see her, but those of you who are just listening via the airwaves, she's 9 months old, right?
Yes.
She's 9 months old. She's got a cute bandana on her head. It's a peach one with a big flower, and she's so cute. She's so cute. Does she? Yes. Yes. She's a distraction. She's a distraction this morning, but she's cute. So Lisa,
Gets away with it.
I know. I'm sure she gets away with a lot. Yeah. Lisa, you work from home.
Right now, yes. I mean, before I would operate out of co-working spaces that are available in Cayman. And so I initially started operating out of Ready Spaces on West Bay Road. And then I was operating out of, what is it? Well, what is it now called? The White House in town.
The White House.
So that's,
okay.
yes. But now I would say, obviously, working from home in Bodden Town, hanging out with my parents. Son is also there too.
Okay. Now, talk to us about the consistency when you're operating a business and how that can encourage clients to make contact.
Oh, well, that's something that I have had to learn and work on. And yeah, it does matter, because at the end of the day, that's how you establish trust and creating. So what I've realized is that I'm really good at being responsive, but at the same time, sometimes noticing when things have changed or how to put systems in place to be able to still maintain what works, and learning when to delegate and what. These are things that definitely I've learned along the way, and when to ask for help, for certain.
All right. So Ava is 9 months old.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about when she was born, did you go back to work or did you just continue work throughout?
I tried to, but then definitely I took a break because I wanted to be able to get her to a position where she learned that her mom is a responsive mom. I mean, she's now in this phase. Yes, this is her new thing, where like she's become really all about the bubbles and bubbles in people's faces. So it's just not responding to that, but then still allowing her to get to know all of her family. And yeah, so it's learning those different things and like defining what professional means. To me, being professional isn't just, it's not denying who you are, it's being real with who you are. Yeah.
Now we're seeing where women parliamentarians, they're breastfed, female parliamentarians have breastfed their kids in Parliament, right?
Yeah.
That's done before, and we're honoring women this month here in the Cayman Islands. So it's good for me. It's amazing to see that you are able to juggle both.
I wouldn't say I've juggled
as a professional.
True. I wouldn't say I've juggled it as effectively as I could have if I had put more things in place and asked for help earlier. 100%, I will fully acknowledge that. However, going forward, I mean, for me, what was important was figuring out what are my individual values, what matters for me with the firm, and then creating that separation. So I wanted to get to know.
And building around that.
Exactly. And then now then creating or trying to honor the relationships around that. So yeah, I like to be able to go places with my daughter that you wouldn't necessarily think, well, why is she there at a professional radio interview with her daughter who is loud?
She wants a mic. She wants a mic.
She wants to speak and be able to do her own thing. But I mean, to me, it's possible. It's just not always going to be what looks quote unquote professional in Cayman.
Okay. If you're just joining us, you're listening to The Business Buzz. This is our first segment, and we have a brand new guest in the studio. She's 9 months old. No, we're not interviewing her. We're interviewing her mom. Her mom is Miss Lisa Donalds of Phoenix Legal, local Caymanian attorney, and she's juggling motherhood, career, life, and just trying to balance the whole thing. Now, Lisa, tell us about some of the main services that your Phoenix Legal provides to the Cayman population.
Well, traditionally it was family law advice. Now I would like to do more things in the sense of more local law, but how that looks like and what it plays like is to be determined. This little one, as you can see, is quite high energy and very much, she wants to be with her mom 24/7, but at the same time, she also knows all of her family, so she's good with this interacting and being like, hey, I'm going to let you know that I have a need and you need to take care of it. I mean, for her, it's just to see what's going on and explore.
And these are the precious years that you'll miss if you had to go into the office every single day, Lisa, 5 days a week. You'll miss that, looking at that cute little face.
Well, that's exactly why I wanted to be able to be around, but at the same time figure out what work looks like with her. So usually, sometimes I would ask to have someone watch her, but today that didn't necessarily work out as planned, so she's with me.
Oh, she's in the studio. We just love her. Hey, Eva. Hi. Lisa, so how does it work for you on a typical day? Say Monday morning you had a nice long weekend and you have to work Monday morning.
I would say
tell us about
right
a typical
now,
day for Lisa.
No, right now I only just decided to kind of be like, all right, well, what does coming back from being with her 24/7, being with her look like? Mm-hmm. But yeah, those things have changed and I'm okay with it.
Okay, so she takes she'll have a nap time, her downtime. Okay.
She's usually pretty structured during the day at home.
Right.
But in a new space, she's like, I want to explore and see what's going on.
And before we go to break, let me ask you, why is work-life, the balance important? And what are some ways that we can improve that work-life balance?
Oh,
you're doing
providing
it now.
the tools.
So
no.
You're the best person to tell us about this.
Well, I think the best thing that COVID to me has brought out, I mean, we're still in the pandemic, but it's provided work from home and remote tools that allow people to do different things. But sometimes it's figuring out what works. Like she right now is a stage where she wants entertainment all the time and she wants to be around more people all the time and she wants to interact with new people and like she's saying hi to you now.
Yeah. Because she's new to all of this.
Exactly. So being here
she
in
wants
a
to
new
experience
environment,
everything.
Exactly.
And rightfully so, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're so cute. Paul, we're going to take that break before I go into my baby talk.
See, it's not necessary. It's just, yeah.
Thanks to our sponsors this morning.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Between 1949 and 1951, health officer Berta E. Banks and entomologist George Gigioli spearheaded the first serious fight against mosquito with spraying equipment and large quantities of the new insecticide DDT. The program was credited with eradicating the threat of yellow fever and malaria. In the later 50s, the program was upgraded with the purchase of the Todd insecticidal fog applicator. which was mounted on the back of a truck and delivered a noxious mist of DDT impregnated diesel oil.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm Zara. If you are students in Cayman between 3 and 16 years old and love reading books like I do, welcome to the first Rotary Central Video Book Report competition. Record your short video, no more than 90 seconds, on why you love your favorite book, what made you excited, or what made you laugh. There are lots of fabulous prizes. Too many to talk about now. For further information and sign up, go to Rotary Central Cayman Islands Facebook page or email david.rotarycentral@gmail.com. Record your book report video and send it by March 31st. So easy, so fun. The Rotary Central Cayman Islands Video Book Report Competition. Rotary serves to change lives.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
12 minutes until 8 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. This is our first segment this morning on the Buzz. And we're speaking with Miss Lisa Donalds of Phoenix Legal. We're finding out more about her company. And she's a new mom. And her little one is in the studio, Miss Ava. She wants the mic. She wants to be on the mic. And rightfully so. She's in the studio. So I think it's her right to have access to the mic. And to all of you today, happy St. Patrick's Day. And to all the Irish out there, wishing you all the best. Now, Lisa, I know it's hard to juggle mommyhood and work. But you do handle it, don't you?
I'm handling it to the best of my ability, but see, like right now, my daughter's having a whole meltdown because
she wants the keys.
Yeah, well, not just that she wants the keys, she is just like, I'm ready to do something different.
Okay, maybe she can. Exactly maybe she might want to keep Silver Fox company on the other side, right?
Actually, but she's not necessarily going to go to someone she doesn't know. She's a funny one like that.
She's a funny one. Okay, so Lisa, we were talking before the break about balancing that work-life, sort of a thing, and how important it is. Now, what are some ways that we can improve? You're working on yours.
So, improving it would be creating spaces where people can breastfeed at work, being able to have secure remote work solutions. I mean, these are things that have now evolved, but actually listening to women when they say, hey, this is the way that I need help. Mm-hmm. People do disclose. They may not necessarily disclose in the way that you think looks appropriate, but they do disclose. People do talk. They let you know what's up.
Okay. Now, tell us, let's go back to...
that one doesn't go in your mouth, child.
To COVID a little bit. Tell us how you coped during the pandemic and the importance of finding joy. You're a dancer. We know that. Lisa loves to dance. What was the importance of finding joy through dance, therapy,
I wouldn't.
family, and authentic friends.
Coping during the pandemic, which is still going on, is something that, I mean, yeah, no, definitely. A lot of therapy. And that's exactly where then the concept of Hugh came from. It's just realizing that, hey, at the end of the day, we all need help. We all need times to be able to figure out what works for us. And being honest and open with that. I'm not anti-therapy. I'm not anti-medication. These are things that can all work. It's just being able to get help when you need it.
When do you think, like someone, going through that, when do you think, do they know when they need that help? Is there
Maybe not. Think? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I think a lot of times people make assumptions. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Now, Q, the concept of Q. This is this is your concept, right? You came up with this.
Yeah, well, it was a idea that I had about, at the end of the day, choosing joy no matter what is going on. But it's not in a toxic way of just like pretending that everything is okay. It's being able to admit that, no, sometimes things are hard. Sometimes things are rough. Sometimes you ask for help, but it doesn't necessarily show up in the ways that you think it would. It's just being real with those things.
Okay. So you came up with Q, like I said. And now, can I read out a bit? Okay, it says ways of learning how to choose joy during the pandemic. Dance, therapy, family, and friends.
Yeah.
Real friends. That one is necessarily not always with or taking pictures.
Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily always about posting and saying that everything is great. I think that that's sometimes how things have come across, even for me, with the way that I post on social media. But yeah, it's also being real that sometimes that you need to show up with your little person, and she does the most. And remembering to pull the mic down.
Yes.
Yes, so that people can hear you clearly.
That's right. No, Cayman is small, and we all know everybody, right? Simply, if you see me, these are your words. These are your concept. Simply, if you see me out and about, it is by choice and honoring a love of mine, dance and connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, Lisa.
I mean, that's the truth. I love to dance and I like to get to know people. Okay. That's really just me at the end of the day. But that doesn't mean that when it comes to Phoenix Legal, the same values apply. That's why I'd say for Phoenix Legal, that's about accessibility.
Right.
But me as an individual, dance and getting to know people.
That's you. That's Lisa.
Me, the individual. Lisa. So it's learning, it's trying to educate Cayman as to exactly where those boundaries lie. And one thing that I'm really loving is that people are getting better at expressing where their boundaries are. That's something that I've seen. Or seeing changes like the NRA this morning driving in and that commute being significantly faster than it used to be.
Where are you coming from?
Well, I know I was coming from the east because my parents are in the east and that's where I've been staying. So I was coming from Bon Down. Just those things, just being like, yes, that it's not then an hour drive in the morning.
About 3-lane.
Yeah, exactly. The 3-lane. Yeah, that upgrade. I'm like, okay, yeah, that I can be about.
Yeah.
So it's just being okay with change and knowing how to transition with it.
And you're doing a good job.
I wouldn't know, not all the time. 100%. No. And being able to be okay to say that. No, not all the time. I think when she's crying, she just wants kisses and hugs and squeezes. Well, it's not even necessarily that. It's more like she wants to be able to put things that don't necessarily go in her mouth to go in her mouth. Like this can go in her mouth, but she doesn't want that.
It's a moment of discovery, Lisa. It's a moment of discovery.
That is understood.
She's got to discover what's tasty or not. So she needs a chance to do all that. Lisa, tell us how someone can contact Phoenix Legal.
Well, right now you can get through to me on 929-4701 or Lisa at phoenixlegal.ky.
Okay. Do you operate your business online as well?
Yeah. That's actually one of the main.
Do you have a website?
My website is down at the moment, but I wanted to do a new one.
So
I'm
Facebook,
working on that. Yep.
Instagram.
Yep.
Okay, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
No, Lisa, anything you'd like to leave with our listeners this morning? Sharing your brand story of Phoenix Legal. Do you want to do a recap in your services?
Well, no, services at the end of the day are local law, local Cayman Islands law. That's really what I'm about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for having you on the buzz this morning. And Ava, thank you too. Ava, she's not looking at me this. Oh, she turned around. Hey, Ava, you know your name. Thank you for coming on the buzz this morning. It's a pleasure having you. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center, Cayman Medical Supplies. Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll head up for the news at 8 o'clock. After the news, we'll have traffic, weather report, and we'll come back with our second segment of the Business Buzz. And this morning on the second segment, we'll be speaking from reps from the Family Resource Center.
Chicago, Singapore, or Cairo. If you go traveling, you will find people keep yearning, people keep twisting, turning, seeking to gain some peace of mind. I've been to more places than I could name, and it seems to me they're all much the same. But if you ask me where I would like to go, if I had one moon left to see, I would say, let me see it in Cayman. Distant pastures always seem much greener. When you get close, you realize you've only been looking at your own illusions, making confusion in your eyes. I've been to more places than I could name, and it seems to me they're all much the same. But if you ask me where I would like to stand, if I had one moon left to see, I would say, let me see it in Cayman. And if I had only one woman left to love, let me love her in Cayman. And if I only had one song left to sing, let me sing it in Cayman. And if I had only one beach left to walk, let me walk it in Cayman.
Classic there from the Trade Winds, bringing our time to just about a few seconds shy of 8 o'clock. This time check brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
Looking for better prices?
You'll always find them at Foster's.
Just like Charmin Ultra Soft Bathroom Tissue. 6-pack only $4.19, save $2.80.
Or find better value on bubbly sparkling water. 12 ounce just $2.79, save $2.70. And Forager organic dairy-free cashew milk yogurts, 2 for $4.
You'll find even more great specials across the island at all Foster's locations and online at fosters.ky. Foster's, better prices because we care.
Price is good until 23rd March 2022.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Island.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. Butterfield Bank announces it will be increasing mortgage rates in step with a recent increase in the U.S. federal funds rate. The U.S. and CI dollar prime rates for residential mortgages, consumer loans, and corporate loans will increase by 0.25% effective March 21st. Deputy Leader of the Opposition is in London this week for the 70th Westminster Seminar on Evolving Parliaments. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
MP who served on a panel focused on holding the executive accountable in a small parliament. The opposition says the 5-day program hosted by the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association kicked off on March 14th and runs through the 18th, giving parliamentarians from across the Commonwealth an opportunity to engage, network, and explore approaches to parliamentary democracy, as well as practice and procedure. This seminar looked at challenges, opportunities, and the need for parliaments to adapt to a rapidly evolving world. Press release from the opposition says in addition to the deputy opposition leader, the Cayman delegation at the seminar included Member of Parliament and Parliamentary Secretary Isaac Rankin of East End, Ms. Patricia Priestley, Deputy Clerk of Parliament, and Dr. Tasha Ebanks Garcia, Cayman Islands representative to the UK. MP Hugh is scheduled to return to Cayman later this week. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
And LGBTQIA+ nonprofit Colors Cayman has plans underway for their very own community center. Founder and president Billy Bryan.
Well, historically, we've been doing workshops at the library or at schools or in government, but we'd like to have our own dedicated space to do these workshops, to do training. We're now working with the police and the Red Cross, and we've been doing that for a while. So we just need a dedicated space to not just educate, but also provide a safe space for those who are in need of shelter, who are in need of resources or guidance. It can serve a lot of purposes, really. And I think it would be especially beneficial to our at-risk youth, those who are in the community but not either ready to or safely able to come out to their friends or family.
Ms. Bryan says they've been working with youth members and activists from all over the region to help bring the dream to life. And though no completion date is set in stone, the organization does hope to have it established by the end of the year. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News for Jerry Smith. The Ukrainian president has accused Russia of building a new wall against freedom in Europe through its invasion of his country. Speaking by video link to the lower house of the German parliament, Volodymyr Zelensky urged Chancellor Olaf Scholz to demonstrate leadership. He said sanctions imposed on Russia had come too late. The NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg, who's visiting Berlin, praised Germany for its generosity and solidarity. Rescuers in the besieged Ukrainian city Mariupol are bringing out more than 1,000 people who sheltered in a theatre that was bombed by Russia on Wednesday. A member of parliament told the BBC that it appeared no one had been killed. Moscow denies targeting the theatre. The latest assessment by British military intelligence says Russia's invasion of Ukraine has largely stalled. It adds that President Putin's forces are suffering heavy losses in the face of coordinated Ukrainian resistance. For the second day running, Mr. Putin has acknowledged that Western sanctions are having an impact on the Russian economy. But he told an online meeting of government ministers that they were also creating opportunities. In other news, South Korea has registered a daily record of 600,000 new COVID cases. It suffered more new infections than any other country in the last 7 days. More than 90% of South Koreans are fully vaccinated. The military-led government in Mali says it's suspending all broadcasts by Radio France International and the French state-funded international television station France 24. It accuses them of reporting false allegations of abuse by the Malian army. And Iran says 29 people have been rescued from a cargo ship that sank in bad weather off the Gulf Coast. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com. Did you know that ValueMed Pharmacy has a free online prescription service? Managing your health and medical requirements has never been easier with ValueMed. Simply visit value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com and click the Refill Prescriptions tab on our website. Fill in the information for new prescriptions or refills and choose your preferred pickup location. ValueMed on Walkers Road or Town. Then bring in your original prescription from your doctor when picking up. There's no need to stand in line and wait for your prescription. Save time and pick up prescriptions at your convenience by visiting value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.ky or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a new and second location in Governor's Square. The new Healthcare Pharmacy in Governor's Square is open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
Calling all amateur bakers in the Cayman Islands. Celebrate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Taking part in the Cayman Islands Platinum Cake Competition. His Excellency the Governor Martin Roper invites you to submit your homemade dessert recipe to the Governor's office by April 3rd. Win a chance to have your dessert recreated for the Queen's birthday party in June. Do you have what it bakes? Well, submit today at gov.ky/Jubilee.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Head east on Cove Road. Sharp left on Church Street. Sharper left. No, your other left. Did I say left? Nope, you missed it. Okay, I'm lost.
With money-saving bundling options for home and motor, we're like a GPS that doesn't steer you wrong. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Let's stop and ask for directions.
Good morning, my friends. Let's take a look at your latest weather. Compliments of our friends at CG Britcay. Present temperature is still 75 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like 82. It's nice and sunny out there. Winds are out of the east-southeast at 5 miles per hour. Relative humidity 88%. Last night's dew point was at 72. Barometric pressure is at 29.97 inches and falling. Light winds and seas are expected over the Cayman area as a cold front approaches the Yucatan Channel. The front is expected to weaken overnight. So our forecast for today, partly cloudy skies, 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the mid-80s. Winds will be easterly at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. And later this evening, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. High tide is coming up at 8:59. It's going to be low at 3:18 this afternoon and high at 9:24 tonight. For tomorrow, low tide is at 3:28 a.m., high at 9:22 a.m., low at 3:44 p.m., and high at 10:02 p.m. Your sunset this evening is at 6:34. Sunrise for tomorrow at 6:31. Outlook is for similar weather through Saturday morning. That, my friends, is your latest weather update.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning, everyone. Hello?
Hello? Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I see we have just about everyone, and of course Tom drops off, as per usual. Let's just wait a minute here. He always comes right back, and we're almost ready, and... oh, whoever's dog that is, please go on mute. Why won't it let me share my screen? Okay, looks like we're ready to start.
We're like a video conference with no technical issues. CG Brit K. Good like that.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning, Cayman, as you deal with the traffic coming out of the eastern area, but the influx of the traffic has kind of subsided. Looking at the east-west arterial, traffic has eased up there and is moving good. But of course, getting to the Century 21 roundabout that's outside Hurley's, we got some traffic there as you either make your way through South Sound or continuing on the Shamrock Road onto Linford Pearson Highway. There's slow-paced traffic there, but it's somewhat moving. So delay time may be between 8 to 12 minutes. As you traverse along the Crew Road as well, traffic is moving slowly but surely. And those of you continuing turning northward, heading towards Shedden Road at the airport. If you're heading towards the airport, very light traffic. Those continuing heading north along Shedden Road. As you get to the four-way stop with Thomas Russell Blake, expect some traffic in that vicinity. Eastern Avenue looking favorable at the moment, similar with Shedden Road as you get further into the Georgetown area. North Church Street, South Church Street feeding into Seafarers Way. Expect some light traffic in some areas and some heavy in some other areas. Of course, the Butterfield roundabout very much busy this morning time with traffic coming in from SLA Tibbetts Highway as you make your way in. And of course, the traffic will ease up as the morning progresses. Drive safely out there, my friends. Look out for pedestrians, those on bicycles, motorbikes, scooters, and enjoy your day. Got another traffic report for you coming up at 12:15. Compliments of our good friends at Subway.
Subway is serving up a special new sauce, bursting with flavor in every bite. The new Savory Collection is a tropical sweet and spicy sauce made with a combination of spices, habanero peppers, thyme, onion, black pepper, ginger, citrus juices, and molasses.
So good. Wow. Sensational. Delicious.
Subway's Savory Collection pairs perfectly with our oven roasted chicken or steak sub. Savor the flavor. For a limited time, only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
The Cayman Islands government is honoring our uniformed services during its National Heroes Day Awards ceremony in Cayman Brac, Saturday, 19th March, hosted by the Honorable Premier and the Minister for Culture. Uniformed Services personnel, past and present, will be recognized at an invitation-only event at the Aston Rutty Civic Center. Watch this year's National Heroes Day Awards ceremony on the Brac from the comfort of your own home on the CIG Facebook page, CIG TV, cable and YouTube channels. For more information, email the protocol office on national events at gov.ky or call 244-1780.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. This is our second segment of the Business Buzz. I was chatting so much I forgot that we had a second segment. Chatting with our guest this morning, saying good morning to all our listeners and our YouTube viewers this morning. Our guest in the studio. Now, before I get to our guest, I'll have to tell you that we're putting the spotlight on the Family Resource Center, FRC. They're celebrating the 23rd anniversary of Honoring Women's Month here in the Cayman Islands. And over the past years, Honoring Women's Month has been celebrated with the objective of highlighting women's accomplishments while addressing gender-specific issues affecting them. On March 8th, this past March 8th, we celebrated International Women's Day. The theme for, I guess, the month you could say, or for the whole year, is hashtag Break the Bias, which emphasizes the importance of promoting a gender equal world, individually and collectively, of course. And this is in order to break free from biases in our community, workplaces, schools, and beyond. Having said that, I'd like to welcome to our studio Ms. Charmaine Miller. Charmaine is a clinical supervisor of the Family Resource Center. Good morning, Charmaine.
Good morning, Anita. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming. And she brought a guest with her this morning, but she doesn't want to put her on the mic. It's her
She'll
mom.
take over. I promise you.
Good morning. Her mom's name is Carla.
Carla.
Carla is Carla. Good morning. She's not near to a mic.
Thank
you want to join us?
It's okay. She'll take over. I'm kidding.
No, she won't.
But she's privileged to be in here. Thank you so much for accommodating her.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. We've had baby. No, we can,
I know
we
you
can
have
take
quite
her
a
home.
day ahead.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Who knows what's next, Anita?
It's exciting. Well, we found a snake in here a couple of months ago. So, small one. So I guess everybody's welcome, including, So, Charmaine, give us some background on the Family Resource Center and the main goals of the center.
So the Family Resource Center, better known as FRC in our community, falls under, we're a government agency, and so we fall under the Department of Counseling Services. Pretty much our overarching goal is to provide free parenting services and intervention to families of all walks of life. We have various programs and services offered, and it's all about prevention and intervention. The reality is that when we talk about parenting, there's no handbook that tells you, once you become a parent, how to parent your child. And so we recognize that. The work that we do, it's all collaborative in nature. It's all on your client, person's individualized goals, and supporting them in a way in which we're empathic, we're validating, and we are putting our clients' interest at the top of the list when it comes to our priority. So we're a great welcoming team. In addition to the parenting intervention that we provide, we run campaigns throughout the year, and Honoring Women Month is the beast of all beasts when it comes to our campaign. We are so fortunate to just every year it continues to grow tremendously. And this year, just, it's just on the platform just continues to grow. And we consistently challenge ourselves to make sure that we are observing the theme in the right way. And we're intentional about the activities that we're creating to bring the theme full circle, right? So we're going to have an opportunity to talk a little bit more about the theme and the various activities that we offer.
Have a full month of activities.
Full month.
So today's what? Today's the 17th.
Today, I lost track, yes.
It's my birthday. Can't forget. 17th of March, St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yeah.
So we still have at least 2 weeks more. Ew, thank you. Thank you so much. That's my green. So we still have at least 2 weeks of March celebration left in the month of March.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to the rest of it. We'll talk about what you've had so far for the start of the month, but you did touch on some of the programs at the center.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm happy to speak to it a little bit more.
Okay.
So our programming is delivered, whether it is delivered either in an individualized setting, so one-to-one, or a group setting. And so we find that there's a lot of power to group, a lot of families that access our services, which are all free, really enjoy the opportunity of being in a group format where they're sharing experiences around the parenting challenges that they face. Currently, we have a teen parent group. We've recognized, in our community right now, it's been quite a difficult time for parents parenting teens. There's been heightened levels of stress and anxiety around just the general challenges that teens face today. And when do we seek for help, right? And so, like I said earlier, our work is quite preventative. There's intervention elements in place too. And so currently we have a teen group, parenting teens program. All of our work is evidence-based, and so we're really excited. Last year we got trained in a worldwide recognized program called Triple P, and that was really in the absence of not having parenting intervention for parents that had teenagers, we recognized that there was a need. We need the proper training. We need to ensure that we're always providing quality to our families, and we're focused on just best practices. And so we're doing our Parenting Teens program. We also have a program that actually just wrapped up, which is transitions, family transitions, and that is targeted to parents who are divorced or separated or currently going through divorce, and just getting them to receive some parenting intervention in order for them to remain child-centered and to parent from a place of love, from a place of just being unified, as opposed to focusing a lot on the adult issues that led to the divorce. And so we've got family transitions, Triple P. I'm sure we're very well known for our young parents program, YPP. And so that program targets young mothers ages 13 and 25 who, become pregnant sometimes unexpectedly, or for various other reasons. And it's a very, very much comprehensive program that supports these young girls and boys, but for the most part, about 90% of our clients are young women between that age bracket that require pre and postnatal health care support. We partner with HSA, and we also deliver the parenting work. We're fortunate to be a sister agency to we're fortunate to work with our sister agency, the Counseling Center, and they're able to deliver therapeutic groups also to this particular population to support them on their own, presenting sort of like individual issues that they may have that may have led to their current situation also.
So are these girls referred to the center?
Oh, great question. So the girls are, yes, some of them are self-referred, which means that they decide to call. They visited our website, our social media platforms, and they've decided to reach out to FRC. So that's a self-refer. Others have been referred to us by the hospital, the Department of Children and Family Services, sometimes the courts. So we have really good partnerships with our public and private sector, actually. And so that's how generally clients would access all of our services.
Okay, so these are for the listeners or viewers who don't know that FRC is an arm of government.
Sure.
Explain that.
Yes.
How does that work?
So all of our services are free, right? Because
Correct.
we are a government entity, and we fall under the Department of Counseling Services. So we've got the Department of Counseling Services. Just think of it as an umbrella. Department of Counseling Services. We have the Family Resource Center under that, the Counseling Center, and Caribbean Haven Residential Center. So our other two sister agencies do similar line of work, just with a different population. So CHRC is known for, working with individuals that have their own individual struggles with substance abuse and addiction, right? And so it's a recovery center. And then we've got the Counseling Center that provides individual and family counseling. All of our services are free. And so we fall under, now the Department of Counseling Services falls under our new ministry, which is called Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Ministry of Health and Wellness. You guys do a lot of work.
Thank you.
Sounds like a lot of work, a lot of planning going into this.
It is, but you know what? Everyone that enters the field of human and social services or psychology does it because there's a passion, right? Mm-hmm. There's a passion. We're helping professionals. Mm-hmm. That's what we are, right? And so if that passion is not there, then we need to kind of like revisit, well, what happened, right? Where's your why? Where's your purpose?
That's right.
And in our team, like that's the passion that fuels the kind of work that we do and fuels that excellence that we strive for as a unit and just as a government entity too. So in addition to all the therapeutic work that we're doing or the individualized parenting intervention and group intervention, we're also tasked to do these campaigns. We do 7 of them per year, and March is the beginning of one. Then we have our teen pregnancy prevention campaign, which is in May, and I'm really excited about that because we've got some really big plans to just increase the work and the awareness around teen pregnancy locally. I can speak about that later on. Okay. And then we've got our bullying campaign, our Stood Up campaign, which is very, very well known, International Men's Day in November, and 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence in November towards December.
Anything for Christmas?
That 16 Days of Activism begins, I believe, on the 25th of November, all the way until the 10th.
Okay.
Yeah, up December. So.
Okay. Now, the theme of International Women's Day this year.
Yes.
#Break the bias. What should this mean to everyone, Charmaine?
Well, I think you touched on it really nicely earlier on. As a, we're really blessed to be doing Honoring Women Month for the past 23 years locally. International Women's Day is something that's globally celebrated, right? But Women's Month was something that was declared in 1999 here by the governor back then. And so it's all about recognizing, specifically with this theme, yes, we've made great progress. However, women are still underrepresented, right? Whether it is in the STEM field and politics and senior leadership positions. So Break the Bias speaks to how can we as women individually, as a collective group, break the biases of who we are, what we our shoulds that are set within our society, and continue to propel ourselves and put ourselves in position of power and of leadership, or wherever we want to be as women, to ensure that we're closing that gender gap that exists.
It's a good way to put it, Lisa. I'm Lisa. I'm Charmaine. If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Business Buzz. This is our second and final segment of the Buzz this morning. We're speaking with Miss Charmaine Miller. She's a clinical supervisor over at the Family Resource Center. And thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center and Cayman Medical Supplies. Lisa has her mom in the studio this morning. I'm Lisa. I keep thinking Lisa now.
Charmaine.
Charmaine. That was our first guest.
I know Lisa. Lisa's cool.
Yeah. Charmaine, your mom is in the studio with us this morning. She's just
sitting in the corner.
Sitting in the corner, keeping warm.
Being a good girl.
Being a good girl. And this is I'm going to put you in a spot.
Oh, dear.
This is Honoring Women's Month. Your mom is here.
Mm-hmm.
You have the mic. You have the world listening to
God.
you. What would you say to her this morning, just to honor her? I'll just give you a minute or two.
Oh, the first word that comes to mind is thank you. Thank you for being just an excellent role model. And I speak to her all the time about this. Everything to me comes very natural because I've seen it from the time I was a little girl. So my passion comes from my mother. My leadership abilities all comes from her. And just her ability to always push me to not get comfortable or complacent comes from her. So it's just a matter of honoring who she is as a woman and bringing that into me, and then just continuing to influence future generations.
Well, you see, your first mentor.
Yes, absolutely.
This is where it starts from.
That is where it starts.
Yeah.
And everything, even,
And your mom, she traveled all the way from Nicaragua, so she's on a little vacation right now with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Scarlett, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio this morning.
Thank you.
So going back to you, Charmaine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's all about honoring Women's Month. We're celebrating here, like I said earlier, in the Cayman Islands for the past 23 years. Now, how important is it to not only highlight women's accomplishments, but also to address gender-specific issues affecting women?
Well, I think it's really important because if we're not able to address the gaps, then we're not going to pave the way forward to creating more equal opportunities for our women and young girls. So, and that's what this is about. And that's why we decided to be very intentional about the events that we coordinated this year. So I know you were with us at the mentorship
launch,
the launch of our mentorship program in the civil service, right? And they paid homage to you and your mentorship. That's what Shanda did for you, and she spoke about it so candidly, right? And that is a way of kind of like speaking to the gender issues that affect us as women when it comes to, getting a new job, trying to propel yourselves to leadership positions or better opportunities. There's some specific issues that we have, right? And creating those opportunities where we can be mentored by more experienced women that have walked in your same shoes, may not have had that kind of mother or that other mentor in their lives.
That's right.
And that is where kind of like we try to address those gender specific issues through the type of events that we created. The mentorship program, I'm so thrilled that our government has decided to take that on board, and recognize that this is innovative. This is something that we've been doing. And in speaking with other civil servants, your senior civil servants, they're like, yeah, I had a mentor, but there was nothing formal. There was nothing concrete. How did you come across that, right? I knew someone that knew someone, and I came across a really good manager, and they decided to mentor me.
We heard that from Ms. Glory Mack.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, why should that opportunity just be a case of luck, or just be a case of someone that, had the willingness and drive to support a younger version of yourself? And in creating something more formal, it allows for better opportunities, it allows for better training, and it allows for addressing those gender-specific issues, but also creating opportunities for equality in our civil service.
That's right. Listening to you, I'm like, I should leave my job and just come over and work for FRC.
Everyone should come and work with us.
Come and work for FRC.
You can, Anita. There's a place everywhere. We're a small and mighty team.
And I just got a sign from Silver Fox. I need to take a break. Thank you.
Secondment now.
Oh, my goodness. You're listening to the Business Buzz. We have in the studio Mrs. Charmin Miller. Charmin is a clinical supervisor of the Family Resource Center. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion with Ms. Miller.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Radio Cayman News.
A 31-year-old man received medical treatment for gunshot.
An appeal to the Privy Council in London relating to same-sex marriage goes in government's favor.
They are not allowed to shift fuel prices based on speculation.
The people of the Cayman Islands are shocked by Putin's invasion of Ukraine.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Business Buzz. Anita Khan.
And we're speaking with Mrs. Charmin Miller. Charmin, as I mentioned earlier, she's a clinical supervisor of the Family Resource Center. We're looking at celebrating Women's Month. We're honoring women in the Cayman, women and girls in the Cayman Islands. Can't forget our girls. Charmin, what are some effective ways to break those biases in the workplace?
In the workplace, I think, we just started talking about language just a few seconds ago. When we talk about, making sure that we're creating equal opportunities, we are being mindful of our language in terms of our capabilities as women, creating more diversity in the workplace. I can speak from my level. Unfortunately, within our field of human and social services, what you'll find a lot of the time are women applying for our workplace, applying for job opportunities within our workplace. However, we also recognize the need for diversity. We don't only want to have a women-led family resource center, right? Because we also want to have more diverse perspectives.
You have
right?
one gentleman.
We have one token male. That is all I have. And despite our efforts, but we've also had to, from an HR perspective, look at our job description, being mindful of our language, being mindful of how we're advertising our jobs so that we're opening up opportunities for males to also apply for opportunities, right? And there's just so many different ways in which we can create a more inclusive environment within our workplace. But words matter. The way we talk about our female counterparts matter. The policies that we have in place to support women. I know our government is doing a really good job in talking about maternity leave right now, paternity leave, and potentially those are going to be in place by the end of the year. A revision of those are happening, and that is that is needed tremendously.
Past my age to enjoy them.
I know. I say the same thing, and I'm I think I'm quite young, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, where was this 10 years ago? But we're here, and so it's not a platform to complain, but to celebrate.
That's
to
right.
Celebrate the fact that we're headed in that direction, and what that's going to do for our next generation of women that are entering the civil service.
No, the launch, we alluded earlier to the launch of the Honoring Women's Month Mentorship Program in our civil service, and you, FRC,
yes,
you're spearheading this, right?
Yes, we are. We are spearheading this in partnership with the portfolio of civil service. Currently, what we will start doing is recruiting for committee members, right? The program is quite comprehensive, and like I spoke to diversity in that we want to have individuals from the private sector as well as the public sector supporting this committee, so that we're able to create a really, really rich mentorship program that's going to be well informed on research, on best practices. I mentioned at the launch that we've partnered with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, right?
right.
And so they are an international mentorship organization. The reason for that partnership, Anita, came from the need to support our young mothers that were accessing our parenting program, the YPS program. And that really came from the fact that as an agency, we're a very small team. And oftentimes when our young mothers are coming in, we're providing the clinical intervention, right? And so the program is split in a way where we have phase 1, they're coming in twice a week from 12 to 4 o'clock, receiving counseling group sessions, parenting support sessions, pre- and postnatal healthcare sessions offered by Health Services Authority, and they're coming back to support us soon. And we've got employability workshops, right? So that's a 13-week program. Following that, the ladies transition into phase 2, which is all about work experience, and matching them with a work experience site to support all their learnings and for them to actually practice all their learnings from the phase 1 part of our Young Parents program. Now, that aspect of it, we've recognized that they need mentorship for that, right? Because oftentimes what was happening is that they would come across a lot of employability issues or challenges, and they wouldn't go to work.
Oh.
Right? And so they oftentimes shot themselves in the foot, unfortunately, right? And a lot of the issues were transportation, childcare, colleagues that they're not getting along with at work, and just common things that we face that they didn't have the support to deal with. And we partnered with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Currently, right now, the mentorship program is only applicable to the girls under the age of 18, but we're hoping to widen that gap because their program services up to 25. But we're in the right direction in that we're addressing a need that's there to support these young mothers and pair them with community mentors to support them. And there's that piece of mentorship, and then there's the civil service piece of mentorship that is obviously restricted to our civil service. But it's all the same vision, right? Empowered women, empower women.
Exactly. So what was the feedback like for the launch?
Oh, it was extremely positive.
I thought so.
It was extremely positive. I'm not going to throw out numbers in terms of people that have signed up to be mentors and mentees, but at the event, there were forms to fill out if you were interested in actually participating in this initiative. And we have a lot of forms that we have to be reviewing and creating a database for. We're extremely excited. I mean, I think it's something that has definitely been a need. The reality is just that
you have other mentoring programs like Chamber.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But they're open, right? Yeah. It's not something that's restricted to our civil service. So I
and they're mostly for high school students.
Exactly. Yeah. And that was the issue that we had with our young mothers. Well, they're mothers now, right? They're not high school students. And so that need wasn't being met in that way.
And some of these will be coming from the what do you call the program again? For the young mothers.
Oh, there are two different mentorship ones. Are we talking about the government one, or are we talking about the community one for the young mothers? Yes. Some of them will come from Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Okay. They have a huge list of mentors.
Never knew there was such a need.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always think about mentorship. Students, high school students. Never took my mind that far. No. Charmaine, let's talk about the importance of mentoring and mentoring these young ladies in shaping future leaders.
Well, I think when we talk about the initiative that we're rolling out with our civil service, it's all about developing skills. It's all about developing skills that will benefit women's career advancement, and supporting and encouraging and making sure that we're imparting knowledge as experienced women. So our mentors would be imparting knowledge on their own experiences, you know, that they've had that proved to be successful, and hopefully that would benefit the next generation of women within our civil service. You know, there are a lot of benefits to mentorship. We talk about it improves performance, it improves your skills, it improves job satisfaction, morale, your overall confidence as a woman and as a worker. And so the research is undoubtedly positive, and it's just a no-brainer in terms of recognizing that this was something that needed to be put in place, and just getting the support and endorsement by our civil service.
How soon are you going to start?
We are hoping to roll out and open up registrations by May.
Oh, that's soon.
That is soon.
That is soon.
We have to keep the momentum.
That's right. That's right. I absolutely agree. Now, you have the STEM camp, the STEM girls camp.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. That's from March 19th. That's
March 19th. That's on Saturday.
Saturday from 9
a.m.
to 3 p.m.
I'm scared about talking about it because the response has just been overwhelmingly positive. And we've had to close registrations on Monday. We only had, we were targeting 25 young girls between the ages of 8 and 13. And yeah, it filled up very, very quickly.
8 to 13.
8 to 13 young girls. And overall, we've partnered with 345 Robotics. Miss Kendra Okonski, she owns that organization. She's also a civil servant. Okay. And so she will be...
Kendra.
Yes, Kendra will be leading the STEM element of it, the robotics piece of it. And what we're doing is we're partnering with her and making sure that, we're creating an opportunity where we can foster that passion that young girls may have in the field of STEM. Right? As opposed to kind of like being like, yeah, I'm interested in science and stuff like that, but that's not something that, I really want to do, or it may be frowned upon, or, whatever the case may be. But we're going to be, partnering with her. We have a really, really good layout of the day. We've also invited 3 guest speakers to have moments of inspiration. So we have guest speakers from the private sector. CUC is going to be there. We also have our own Ms. Jerica Wood from the Department of Environment will be joining us too. So there's going to be moments of inspiration, and it's all really to bring it all full circle and recognize that if you do have this passion, this is what it could lead to. You could be the next female engineer. You could be the next marine biologist, the next director, and it's all just bridging all of that so that we're recognizing that if you have this strength, why not harness it? Why not move in that direction?
But basically registration is closed.
It's closed. It's done.
Oh, it's
done deal.
But next time you have to open it for more girls, for more registrants.
Or do it more often than once a year. This is our first time around, and we didn't realize that we were going to get such positive feedback.
Oh, well, now you know.
Now we know this.
Where's the venue?
It is in John Gray High School, the new gym at John Gray High School.
Now, who is it normally? You'd cater to 8 to 13, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe next time you'll go a little bit older, to 15 maybe?
Maybe next time, yeah. This is our first time doing this, and so we wanted to make sure that we were in keeping with Kendra's experience also of what she's done, because she's done similar camps before. And it was our first time around. I'm hoping that we can continue our partnership and do this more than once a year. We've had some great sponsors, which we'll highlight towards the end of this interview, that our events are free, right?
So who's on board? Which companies are on board?
We have CUC.
Here's your chance to.
This is my chance to. We have the Ministry of Investment, Innovation and Social Development, our Ministry of Health and Wellness, CUC, Water Authority, BAF Insurance, Vamp Motors, Maples Group, Ankle and Volkers. I said BAF Insurance because they're just amazing with us. And Davenport Development. I always get an automatic yes. I sent an email out for sponsorship, and 2 minutes later, Paul is like, yeah, absolutely. They love us. I have to shout him out. Wow. Yeah, but we've the Ministry of our Cayman Islands Government Gender Affairs Unit is also supporting this initiative, and Cayman National, of course.
And people always want to know, will you be serving lunch?
Yes, thanks to Subway. Anita, yes, Subway is providing free lunch for these young girls, so I'm really excited about that. We wanted to keep it healthy.
It's 9 to 3. Will it be snacks as well?
Yes, snacks too. See, all the sponsors hooked it up this year. And we have fun games.
Some of the topics that'll be covered. Do you have any idea?
Well, I know they're going to be building a robot. And so there's steps to that process. And at the end of camp, the idea is that they have built their own robot. So we have a full day to do that, and it's going to be broken up in segments because we also want it to be fun. We've got the building of the robot. We've got the moments of inspiration by some of our female engineers, marine biologists, and we also have some fun games that the girls can play just to keep it light and still engaging.
I'll see Kendra in a different light.
You will?
Yeah, because I know she does communication and stuff.
Yes, so, she does that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm so excited to work with her. She came to the governor's reception with a robot.
Nice. Oh my goodness.
And the governor was entertained.
Oh my, I'm sure he's easily entertained. Good morning to the governor if he's listening. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue a discussion with Mrs. Sharman Miller. Sharman is the clinical supervisor over at the Family Resource Center. Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
The Ministry of Education invites all eligible Caymanians to apply for an Education Council local scholarship for the 2022-2023 academic year. To apply for a local scholarship or learn more about the various scholarship offerings, please visit the Scholarship Secretariat Unit's website at www.moescholarships.gov.ky. Applications close on Saturday, April 30th, 2022.
Cayman Turtle Conservation and Education Center invites you to join them on Sunday, April 3rd for their 2nd annual Turtle Crawl 5K Walk and Run. All funds raised from the event will support the conservation of green sea turtles in the Cayman Islands. So come on out and show your support. The 2nd annual Turtle Crawl 5K Walk and Run. Learn more and register now at www.turtlecrawl.ky. Proudly sponsored by HSM, Rotary Central, Advanced Fire Services, Gatorade, and Radio Cayman.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
And here's hoping you're enjoying the Business Buzz this morning. I want to say good morning to all our faithful listeners. Mrs. Nida Flatley. Good morning, Miss Nida. I know she listens every morning. Carl Brown. Good morning, Carl. We haven't heard from you in a while in the buzz, but we know you listen. And to all our listeners, of course, want to say good morning to you and thank you for sticking with Radio Cayman and just keeping tuned in to Radio Cayman. We're speaking with Mrs. Sharman Miller. Sharman, you have so many things happening for the month of March, honoring Women's Month here in the Cayman Islands. We've talked about your STEM Girls Camp.
Yes,
Let's look at what else you have coming up. A women's
pop-up
own
market.
pop-up market.
Yes, that is our first time.
Is this the first time?
This is our first
Oh,
time.
okay.
Women-owned pop-up market. I mean, the title of it speaks for itself. We are creating an event that is sponsored by DART. I am very grateful for that.
Okay.
And we are pretty much targeting female-owned businesses to promote themselves.
And we have a lot of those on the island. I have
Lots
to
of
tell
them
you,
right
I've
now.
seen a lot of them come on the buzz.
I know. And have you noticed an increase since COVID? Like
Yep,
all these new
that's right.
pop-up businesses
That's right.
on social media are just, coming out. And it's just so empowering. It's so empowering.
Very empowering.
That as women, we're taking our strengths, whether it is in arts and craft and food and skincare, whatever the case may be, and we're creating a business out of it.
Eyelashes.
Right? Exactly. So we currently have 14 businesses registered. So this is certainly an opportunity to plug in. If you're interested in registering your business,
and
for
this free registration?
Market, it's $50 for registration. Okay. And the event will be taking place at the Paseo at Cayman Bay from 11 to 4. Everything will be provided in terms of table, tent. It's just a matter of you bringing your products and showcasing it and it being an opportunity to sell it. And again, it's all about empowering female-owned businesses during this time.
Right?
March 26th. March 26th.
Is that
it's
a
Saturday?
Okay.
March 26th. So we will be there at Cayman Bay, and we're hoping that this is going to be, quite a successful event, and hopefully not just once a year, at least for Honoring Women Month, because I really think that this could be a great platform for businesses to showcase their talent, their products, and empower them.
That's right. And do you have music?
We do. We're having...
Just have to check.
We do. Oh, my God. I don't know the girl's name who has offered, but we will have background music, and I'm hoping that we have someone from a Steel Pan.
So how can we register for women register for the pop-up market?
Online at frc.gov.ky. If you click on our Honoring Women Month page, you could certainly, scroll down. You'll see our calendar, scroll down, and there's a registration form for the women-owned pop-up market.
Is there a deadline for registration?
On Friday. Oh. This Friday is our deadline.
So you'll have to know how many booths to set up.
Yes.
Okay.
Right now we have 14, and we can accommodate up to 26.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, so women, listen
definitely.
up. Make sure you register.
Please.
Can they come by, just in case someone doesn't have access to the internet or something like that?
They can give us a call at 949-0006. And we would be able to give them all the information. If push comes to shove, fill out the form for them too, and just have them come and pay the $50 registration fee.
Sounds like fun.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I'm always in the studio on Saturdays, so I'll miss that. No, it goes until 4.
Yes, it's
11
a long
to
day.
4. I get off until 2:30. Okay. Oh, this can happen. We can make this happen. We have the Color Purple
5K.
Color Me Purple 5K walk run coming up. And that's. You guys have time for yourself.
I know. My mom has been here all month. I barely see her.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Your help.
That was strategic, Anita. Her time here was strategic.
Really? Mommy, hear that? She's not going to do this next year, Charmaine. So just be careful. Just be careful. Be nice.
So the 27th, you're right. It's the same weekend. Saturday's a pop-up market, and our Color Me Purple 5K is the 27th of March. We've been doing this 5K for the past 10 years already, and it grows. It grows every year. It is, I don't want to say that it's the only, it may not be the only purple powder run. No, it may not be the only powder run in Cayman, but it's the only purple powder run in Cayman. And purple because that's the color.
So how does this work? I've never been to one. How does this work?
Oh, okay. So we have about 5 color bombing stations. Oh. And so everyone begins at the start line, right? Okay. We have about 200, 250 people that come in. This year we have white dry fit shirts intentionally with the purple logo so that, when we're tossing powder, they can look really, really purple.
You call them wife beaters.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
I shouldn't say that. Sorry, Charmaine. No, but that's how we call it. This is what they call them. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So we've got the dry fit shirts and registration is $30, right? And so the expectation, that includes breakfast, raffle prizes, as well as just the overall experience. And what will happen is that everyone starts off at the same time, which is 6:30 a.m. Moving forward, as they go through it, this is happening at the Holiday Inn, that route. Yeah. And so what happens is that we have 5 stations across that route, the 5K route, that are manned by some of our sponsors also, right? So Cayman National, BPW will be there too, having their own station, and we give them purple powder, so like a box of purple powder, and as runners or walkers are passing by, the powder is tossed in the air. And by the time they're done, they come back from their 5K walk, they are purpled out.
Now, the Indians have a religious ceremony called the Pagwa.
Oh,
where they throw different colors at you.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
I thought this concept came from that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so we're...
Now,
That's,
the funds raised from this event will go towards which projects?
everything that we do for Honoring Women Month will support the Young Parents Program, right? Because these are young women that are in need. They have multiple barriers when it comes to childcare support, transportation, basic needs. And so through their participation in the program, they have access to this. Educational grants are also provided to them. Some of them use that for a GED, for them to continue their education or for them to pursue college level education too. Obviously, we're not able to match what the Ministry of Education does at no level, but we're able to pay for some courses that are required or that they're not able to get funding for. So everything goes directly back into our young women. And that's the overall vision: empowered women empowering other women, right? And so every event that we do, whether it is the 5K is our biggest fundraiser, right? All of those funds go directly into that program. The pop-up market is just a small amount, right? $50 for registration. But we thought, why not try to create activities or events that line up and match up with the theme of Break the Bias, while at the same time creating opportunities for fundraising.
How do we register for the walk run?
The same thing as what I mentioned.
Pop-up shop?
For the pop-up shop. So just visit our frc.gov.ky website and you will have the registration link for the 5K. We're also on social media, FRC Cayman on Instagram or Family Resource Center, but with the British spelling, Center R-E as opposed to E-R.
That's right.
And you'll find us there. And so we have all our events and our registration links listed.
I know we can go online and look at it, but just at the top of your head, for the rest of the month, what other events do you have that you haven't talked about yet?
That I haven't talked about. So on Sunday, we have a Soca Beach Fit session.
No, you didn't talk about that.
We have a Soca Beach Fit session on Sunday, $25 registration for that event. And we are partnering with the School of Fitness. They are actually going to be leading the Soca Fit session. And it's just, exciting, fun, and a great opportunity to start off your week. The Kimpton... It's located at the Kimpton Seafire, the deck at the Kimpton Seafire. Yes, so that's where we will be hosting that event at 9 o'clock. So it's from 9 to 10:30, and registration is $25. We encourage anyone that's interested in attending to bring their yoga mats with them too.
And you can register
online.
The event?
Yeah.
Online and an event. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you missed?
Registration form for that. We have two other events hosted next week. Our unconscious bias training, which is going to be offered by Gender Equality Cayman. As a department, we received the training. We thought it was very eye-opening in terms of recognizing our own unconscious biases that we have, especially when they manifest themselves in the workplace, and how that impacts your workplace or just overall your wider community and your interactions with them. So we're going to have a guest speaker, Ms. Mahir. Ms. Mahir from Gender Equality Cayman. She's also a part of our government, Ministry of Investment, Innovation, and Social Development. So she will be our guest speaker for that unconscious bias training that will be hosted on March 21st at 6 p.m. over Zoom. All of the links for our events are on our website, frc.gov.ky. Then on Thursday, we're really excited to partner with three expert panelists on the webinar called Overcoming the Imposter Syndrome. And we have On Course Cayman, Ms. Dr. Lexi Bodden from On Course Cayman. Infinite Mind Care representative from Infinite Mind Care will be joining us, as well as Louise from Nova Recruitment. So we're really excited about that's a new webinar, and it's about
a lot going on.
Gaining insight into our imposter syndrome and how to overcome those feelings.
All right. How about volunteers? Are there any volunteer opportunities?
Great question. Yes, we love volunteers. On our website, there's also a volunteer registration link. Okay. If anyone's interested in volunteering with us, there are different levels of volunteering. Whether it is volunteering, you have experience within our field and you want to volunteer with running groups with us. That's an opportunity too. We love to welcome our interns from the School of Social Work also, so that they can get that kind of like clinical exposure. If you're interested in volunteering in Honoring Women Month events or any other public awareness campaign, that's opportunity certainly there. And just overall volunteers throughout the year, we certainly welcome that. We're a very small team, so we make sure that we train. Thank you. We make sure that we train our volunteers so that they are also representative of just our overall work, our culture, and just the overall clinical work that we do.
Charmin, I want to say thank you so much. We're out of time.
Oh.
And before Silver Fox kills me, but we're going to overtime. I want to say thank you so much, and all the best for the rest of the events that you're going to put on for the year.
Awesome.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
And thanks to your mom for keeping your company this morning. I want to say thanks to our first guest in the studio this morning, Miss Lisa Donalds of Phoenix Legal, and of course, baby Ava. And just thanks to all our listeners, our YouTube viewers, and of course, our producer of the Business Buzz, Miss Susan Watson, and Silver Fox for holding it down in the studio this morning. He's got some great music lined up on the breakfast session. So until Tuesday, March 22nd, when we bring you another Business Buzz, please stay safe. Have a wonderful St. Paddy's Day. And for me, your host, Anita Khan, goodbye.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Optical Outlook, now at their new location in Anderson Square. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook. And Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in